Hello, this is old Mr. Kent of MrKent.com, and the reason I added the extra old is because halfway through putting this video together, I was in the hospital. And I was only in there overnight, but what happened is I had kind of a minor little stroke, and it was definitely something I couldn't remember anything there for a little while. So my wife rushed me to the hospital, and they put me in a room, and then they started doing all kinds of scans. And they were trying to find my brain, but they skipped that part. But they were scanning my heart and so forth. So it was just a minor stroke, and it had to do with my heart. My blood pressure was over 200 when they got me to the hospital. So anyway, that's how it's been the last couple of days. But I think maybe I'm good enough now to make a video. But one of the things I like about going to the hospital is I have a captive audience, and everybody comes into my room. I ask them if they know Jesus. And boy, do I get some interesting conversations going. But anyway, so I'm out and everything is good. And so I would appreciate your prayers, though, if you want, because I don't know what's going to happen as I get older, but my blood pressure was over 200 when they took me to the hospital. So here we go. We're down at the area where I did some videos earlier of a construction site, and I mentioned, and I'll put a link to it if I can remember, that I had been down here and they had a big old hole dug, a big trench, and I had no idea what they had dug it up, because they dug it up and then they filled it up again. This was a couple months ago or so, and so then I noticed the other day that they've dug it up again, and not only have they dug it up again, but now they've got a huge tube in there, like a conduit, and they're just adding on to it, and you can see it there. And there is where I was in the hospital, and there's the window I looked out right there, as a matter of fact. So there you go. I didn't know what was in there until the other day when I looked at this when I got back from the hospital. So anyway, looking back down at the ground, you'll notice the size of that tube is huge compared to those guys working on it. Then at the far end, they have some kind of an opening, so I don't know what they're going to put in there, but it'll be interesting to find out. And when I was down making this video, I forgot to look and see if there was a sign that told what they were building. So anyway, we'll just take a look at this for a little while, and then we'll go look at something else. So this isn't the only thing we're going to look, but I like to watch construction. And those guys are getting the ground ready to put another one in, as you can see, and all the way along it they've got black plastic aligning the bottom. And over to the right you can see where they're putting in the ceiling beams, or roof beams, whatever you want to call them, on the building associated with the tube under the ground. And like I said, I should have gone around and looked at signs to see if I could see what they're building here. And I have looked at other times, but I haven't looked recently, and there wasn't anything there to tell me. So what we'll do is we'll watch construction. I hope you like construction. Anyway, we'll watch construction for a few minutes, and then we'll go look at where I think a guy was burying a pet. And I still want to go back over there and do a little more examining, because I was looking in the wrong place when I went on this particular day. And I came back and looked at the previous video where I noticed he was digging, and I had been looking in the wrong spot. So maybe in a future video we'll have that. Plus you may want to be watching this construction site again. But I'll just be quiet unless I see something to remark about. And sometimes I forget, so I'll think of something if I do. All right, so let's just watch the video. Oh, there's some guys taking out the garbage. Guy in the yellow and the guy in the red. Looks to me like, anyway. I would call it taking out the garbage. And the guys over putting up the beams, there's a guy on each end in one of those, whatever they're called, I can't remember that now because of my old brain, and then a guy in the middle, and they can drive those around from up there, and I've worked in one of those before also. First time is a little scary. There's the guys in the garbage can. They're coming back out after they dumped whatever they dumped. And that guy with the long pole is, there's a guy standing over behind the boom of the backhoe or track hoe, and they're checking to see if they've got it at the right depth. And the camera went up almost high enough to see the hospital again. And they treated me pretty nice in the hospital, although my wife couldn't go in, and you can't have any visitors because of the coronavirus. So I sat in my room alone for hours. And then they'd come in and take my blood pressure and go back out, and they were all wearing masks. And up at the top of the screen, if you've watched any of my previous videos, they finally got the tunnel dug underneath the intersection there. And the guy with the backhoe is leveling out the ground above where they went down and dug again. So, they're making progress. And there goes the guys with the garbage again. And I came over here to see if there was a guy at the other end of the beam and there is, but I wasn't sure. Now there's going to be a guy, he's going to crawl in, if I haven't missed it, he's going to crawl into the track hoe, and then we're going to see what he does. There, now he's going forward. When I saw that, I thought, oh, I got to see what he's doing. So then I swung around and tried to get a picture of what he's doing. And what he's doing is they're just using the boom to pack down the dirt that they're throwing out there. So it'll be at the right altitude below ground, or whatever you want to call it. You can do a lot of things with a backhoe or a track hoe. I used to pull trees out of the ground with the one I operated one like that, and it was pretty easy. You just dig a hole on each side of the tree and then grab a hold of the of the edge of the tree and pull it out. All right, I think we're going to change gears here, and I think we're going to go look at the where I thought I saw the guy burying a pet. And there's some more of those tubes ready to be lowered into the ground. I think you can see me down there in just about the center of the screen. And my house is actually in sight, but I won't try to pick it out, but it's in the upper right-hand side of the screen. So it's not far from where I live. There's my takeoff pad. All right, now where that pile of brush is, you can see in the picture down below, there's where the guy was digging. So just out a little ways from that pile of brush is should be a hole. But I was looking in the wrong place when I rode my bike over there. So and this is looking at it from a different direction. So somewhere down there, I'll find out one of these times. I'll go back down there and see if I can see some loose dirt. So here we go. Now, like I was saying, I think he was burying a pet. And the reason I say that is because this lot has several pet graves in it. And what we're going to be looking at here is just one place. Center of the screen, near the top, there's a few more graves over there. But this is where a lot of folks come to bury their pets. So it's cheaper than going to the vet. There you go. That's some burial grounds. But I want to thank you for watching, and keep me in your prayers, because I want to hang around for a while, and I appreciate it. And God bless.